Children to eat what's in front of them might feel like a test from hell at times. I'm going to find this quite triggering, this interview, but there are key tips out there to help parents like me win that battle. Nutritional therapist Judith Yeebsley has written a book called Winner, Winner, Eat Dinner that addresses and solves the key challenges for parents with a piggy eater and how to teach children to try new foods. She's with us now to share her wisdom. So as I said, I've got one and it drives me nuts. So what do we do?
Thanks for having me on, Melissa. And it does drive you nuts, and I'm really glad that you understand this, because if you've got a child that eats food really well, then you go, what's the big deal? This is so easy. But if you have one that doesn't, it is so triggering, stressful. I think of it as a parent's guilty secret, because that's something that as a parent, and especially as a mother, we feel is our core duty to get our child to eat. What can we do? We can do a lot, actually, which is fabulous to know. And the first thing we need to do is understand that if our child's not eating, it's because there's a discomfort somewhere. And so if I think of the swimming pool, if we take our child down to the swimming pool and they're really frightened of water, we don't throw them in the deep end. We go through a whole series of steps to get them comfortable with the water. Eating's just the same. So if our child is not comfortable eating, we need to step right back and start building that comfort for them.
But at which point my almost 7-year-old just will not try new food? So I might just put, like we did, we might put one piece of cucumber on his plate for weeks and weeks on end.
Yes.
He won't try it.
And that's because... and this goes back to my 7 steps, which is in my Winner, Winner, Eat Dinner book, which is step 1's on the table, step 2's on the plate, which you're doing, and then step 7 is eating. So like most parents, you're going from step 2 to step 7, which is like taking your child down to the pool and going, okay, you can dip your fingers in, now let's throw you in the deep end. And so what we need to do is build that comfort slowly. So on the plate is not enough, because he looks at it and says, new food, scary, frightening, don't want to go there, I'm not going to try it.
So what's my step 2? Touching it.
So it is. But often doing that at the table is really frightening,
right? Because
then it's about eating. So this is not, don't think eating, think interacting. How can I support my child to interact gently with that food and over time build a comfort level with it? So we think, well, we've done this cucumber, we've done it for months. He's not touching it, he's never going to eat it, I'm wasting my time. But actually, he is building a comfort level with that cucumber. But can we then encourage interaction? So maybe he's in the kitchen and he's washing it for you. Maybe he's chopping it for you. Maybe he's putting it on skewers that you're going to eat rather than he's going to eat.
What are the things that we're doing? Because I think I'm doing it. Sorry, this interview is all about me, but I feel like, so now that I will give him something because I know he eats it.
Yes.
And because I don't have time to be, I just need him fed and we need to move on as a family. But it becomes quite restrictive, say, going on holiday, because you get the judgment from other parents, or my mum will say, well, what are we going to give him? So are we inadvertently also setting them up with bad habits when they're only getting the foods that they want to have?
Absolutely. And I appreciate that we've got to feed our child, and we should be feeding our child, and they should come to the table, there be something there that they're able to eat, because no one comes to the table happily if there's nothing there that they're going to eat. But the best thing to do if we've got a child who's got a really narrow diet and they're really uncomfortable is to make subtle changes to that food, because if we can't accept change, we can't accept new. So if, for example, you're always serving them toast in the morning, then really stepping right back and saying, well, instead of doing it in squares, can we do it in triangles? And you might say, well, they're eating the same toast, but they're starting to see a change. And then what's the next little step that we can do? And that change process eventually will lead to something new.
And I've been given at what age is this going to be a real problem if you don't address it?
I don't think there's any specific age.
Right.
If a child's struggling, they're struggling, and we should intervene and we should really support them.
All right, Judith, thank you so much. Judith Yeebsley, nutritional therapist, and this is the book. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. 3, Winner, Winner,
I Eat Dinner.
I Eat Dinner. Great. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having me on.
That was so interesting. Obviously, I want to say no dinner, no dessert without dinner. Is that allowed? That's a genuine in our house. No dinner, no dessert without dinner.
I know. The only problem with that is then it's if you eat the yucky stuff, you get the wonderful stuff.
Yes. No. Yes.
No?
Yeah, no.
It doesn't put the broccoli in very good light, does it?
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, but broccoli's broccoli. It's got an image problem. All right, okay, coming up, what a segue. What makes the best American fried chicken? That's up next.